Welcome back, bigots. This video should be a fun one, as it hits many different angles to a new controversy surrounding the release of the Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion Remake. This video will consist of 3 different parts, all addressing the discrepancies regarding the Oblivion Remake. In case you aren't aware, Bethesda shadow dropped a remake of Oblivion, and according to the Steam numbers, it's doing pretty well. In fact, I actually expect the numbers to only grow. But good news aside, I'll get to why I think Bethesda shadow-dropped Oblivion at the end of this video, because I'd like to first delve into the growing controversy surrounding the removal of basic anatomical and biological facts by replacing male and female options with body type. The question is, why? Why cater to a tiny minority group? And more importantly, are there any good arguments against this practice that involve the game itself? I will answer all of these questions and more, but I will first address the controversy head-on with a response to the many replies I have received as I made multiple comments about the recent replacement of the male and female options within Oblivion's character creation menu. The replies were many, yet they were all identical. They all insisted that what I had pointed out was unworthy of even mentioning. It wasn't a big deal, they said. It's just words, bro. Why so mad? And my personal favorite, find real problems. I don't know about you, but I think dismissing the fundamental facts of biological life is a fairly important endeavor. As you can see, the replies were just slight reinterpretations of the same sentiment. That sentiment being, ignore the changes. Please, stop noticing. What fascinates me is that they clearly recognize that we notice a change, and consequently, they ridicule us for noticing that change. But if you attempt to show them that Oblivion always had male and female options, they lose their collective minds. They get upset when we notice a change, but ignore why the change was made to begin with. Do you want to know why that is? Because it's political. If their political side gets a win, any win, no matter how big or small, they have no problem feigning ignorance on the matter. But I will remind you, these people were loud and clear about their disdain for Marek Tymiński's polls, where he asked his player base what they wanted in their games. Especially when the question was asked, do you want male and female options or body type options? That specific question got its own salvo of unhinged responses. Suddenly, the game, Lords of the Fallen, that would be Tymiński's game, changing their options from body type back to male and female is considered pandering. But doing the reverse isn't? Removing an entire biological framework by which we recognize our species is pandering. But removing that biological fact is no big deal. Apparently, it's only pandering when a politically motivated action that has ignored basic biology has been rectified. See how that works? Furthermore, if changing male and female options isn't such a big deal, why do mods get removed from Nexus when modders bring back the original options? That's awfully suspicious. You all get foaming at the mouth mad when someone makes a mod that brings back biology. But you regale yourselves with all manner of insults lobbied against us when we notice you changing clearly defined biology. I wonder why that is. So, which is it, Rainbow Cult? Are they just words on a screen and totally don't matter in the big grand scheme of things? Or do they have profound impact on reality? You can't have it both ways, guys. Either accept mods that adjust the language to satisfy gamers who live in the real world, or you don't have an argument to save your life, and you will continue to to look foolish. This behavior honestly needs to be studied. But let's move on to another question. Is there any in-game evidence that the character creation option changes have also changed the quests or dialogue in any way? Meaning, are the changes with the character creation options affecting the narrative in the game? This is where Christina Tasty comes in. I came across her comment and almost slapped myself for not having remembered the quest line she uses for her argument. But to be fair, the last time I played Oblivion was back in 2006, when the game was originally released, so cut me some slack. Christina says, I don't typically comment on body type nonsense, because it helps no one. But Oblivion has a quest called the Siren's Deception that changes if you play as a female. But now you don't choose gender. You choose body type. So, does the quest still exist, or did they change it? Christina continues, see, this is the one time it really annoys me, because if it remains the same, you are explicitly choosing a gender. You're not choosing a body type. I'm not choosing to play as a man in a woman's body. I'm not picking a female avatar. I'm picking an actual woman. For full context, she says, the quest has you investigating a group of women who rob men by seducing them. If you play as a woman, they try to cut you in. If you play as a man, they just try to seduce you. But I'm not a female, according to Bethesda. I'm body type 2, or whatever. Unless the dialogue is now, you're body type 1, I'm body type 2, this made no sense to be changed if the game doesn't refer to your gender. You play as an avatar. Your gender afterwards. This point would be moot. But it's literally type 1, type 2. It's try-hard nonsense. Her last statement is stated thusly. I'm not here to say it's game-breaking or it's the end of Western civilization. Well, you may not, Christina, but I will. But nevertheless, it annoys me that specifically me, for the literal reason that you literally not picking a body type. You're picking a gender. They're being confusing and helping zero people in the process. End all of her quotes. So, Christina Tasty brings up some valid points here. The question now is, can we prove that this is the case, or what she has argued is the case? Can we prove the gender within the narrative, that being the voice actors and the dialogue, hasn't changed? Well, we can, in fact, with this screenshot. The king, early on in the game, as you're exiting the prisons, the king is clearly using the pronoun she. So, the changes to the character creation menus in the Oblivion Remake are entirely performative. It's politically motivated. It's pandering to a ridiculous and, I might add, fruitless extreme. Why? Because biology matters, and our English language that allows us to convey biological truths also matters. Otherwise, communication as an act of sharing ideas becomes unusable. Lastly, I will now give my reasons why I think Bethesda shadow dropped Oblivion. Again, with open transparency, I must admit that I have no evidence for the claim I'm about to make. It's pure conjecture on my part. With that being said, I think the Oblivion Remake was shadow dropped to curb any controversy. Now, I assume someone within Bethesda said to themselves, we should probably drop this game without any advertising, so that the internet, that being people like me and those like myself, don't investigate anything about this game so we can get ahead of any controversy. And also, that way, sales won't be as impacted. Now, if what I'm saying is true, I predict we might see more studios shadow dropping games for the same reasons I just explained. And, well, I hope I'm wrong about all that. So what did we learn today? We've learned that hypocrisy is a way of life for tourists in this gaming sphere. We've learned that there is in-game evidence that changing the gender roles in the character creation menu is utterly senseless. And lastly, we've learned that it's possible, even plausible, that the shadow dropping is an attempt at information control and revenue sustainability. And that's all the time I have for this video. Don't forget to like and share. You can find me on Gab or on X. If you haven't already, please hit like and subscribe. Do all the fun social goodness. And until next time, have fun.